Welcome back to the Quantum Talk, everyone. Today, we're diving into a topic that sparks a lot of discussion and sometimes a little skepticism. Alternative medicine healing. What is it really, and is there more to it than meets the eye? To help us demystify it all, I'm thrilled to introduce our expert, Padma.
Thanks, Jamie. It's a pleasure to be here. This is such an important conversation, especially because alternative medicine is often misunderstood or dismissed without a deeper look. At its core, it refers to healing practices outside of conventional Western medicine. But it's not a monolith. It's incredibly diverse.
That's a great point. I think for many, the phrase conjures up images of something unproven or perhaps even a bit mystical. Can you explain the fundamental difference or approach that sets it apart?
Absolutely. The most significant differentiator is often the holistic approach. While conventional medicine tends to focus on treating specific symptoms or diseases, alternative medicine often looks at the whole person, mind, body, and spirit as interconnected. The idea is that symptoms are often manifestations of an imbalance somewhere else in the system.
So instead of just fixing the broken part, you're looking at the entire machine and how it's running. That makes a lot of sense conceptually. Can you give us some popular examples of these practices that people might recognize?
Of course, when we talk about alternative medicine, or more accurately, complementary and integrative medicine, we're looking at things like acupuncture, which has been used for thousands of years in traditional Chinese medicine, chiropractic care, various forms of massage therapy, herbal medicine, and mind-body practices like yoga and meditation, Reiki, pranic healing, crystal healing. These are just a few, but they highlight the breadth.
Acupuncture is one I hear about a lot, and massage certainly. But let's get into the elephant in the room for many listeners, the scientific evidence. How do we differentiate between practices with genuine benefits and those that might be less supported?
That's the crucial question, Jamie, and it's where a lot of the misunderstanding lies. It's not a binary, proven or unproven. Many alternative therapies do have scientific backing, and the research continues to evolve. Take acupuncture, for instance. Numerous studies, including meta-analyses, have shown its effectiveness for chronic pain, migraines, and even nausea.
So it's not just a placebo effect.
Not at all. While the placebo effect is powerful in any healing modality, the mechanisms of acupuncture are being increasingly understood. It affects nerve pathways, releases endorphins, and influences brain activity. The World Health Organization, for example, has recognized its efficacy for over 100 conditions. Similarly, mindfulness-based stress reduction has extensive research supporting its benefits for anxiety, depression, and managing chronic conditions.
That's really powerful information. It seems like the narrative often defaults to no science when that's simply not true for many of these practices.
Exactly. The National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health, part of the NIH in the US, actively funds and reviews research into these therapies. They provide a fantastic resource for understanding which practices have strong evidence, which are still being studied, and which lack solid support. It's about being discerning and looking at the reputable sources, not just blanket dismissal.
So it sounds like the goal isn't necessarily to replace conventional medicine, but to complement it.
Precisely. That's why the term complementary or integrative medicine is often preferred. It's about leveraging the strengths of both approaches for the best possible patient outcome. Think of it as having more tools in your health and wellness toolkit. For example, a cancer patient might undergo chemotherapy but use acupuncture to manage the side effects like nausea, or use meditation to reduce treatment-related anxiety, or right-frequency healing to accelerate the cancer treatment more effectively.
That paints a much clearer picture. For our listeners who might be curious but hesitant, how would you advise them to explore alternative medicine safely and effectively?
My biggest piece of advice is to be informed and open-minded, but also discerning. Talk to your primary care physician about your interest. Many doctors are becoming more open to integrative approaches. Research practitioners thoroughly check their credentials, experience, and reviews. Start with therapies that have a strong evidence base for your specific concerns. And most importantly, listen to your body and how it responds.
Excellent advice, Padma. It sounds like rather than being alternative in a divisive sense, these practices offer a rich tapestry of healing that, when used wisely, can truly enhance our well-being. Thank you so much for demystifying this complex topic for us today.
My pleasure, Jamie. I hope it encourages people to explore these paths with confidence and curiosity.
And thank you, our listeners, for joining us on the Quantum Talk. Stay curious, stay healthy, and we'll catch you next time.